Robots are revolutionizing medicine. Well, not those robots. They can work in ways that humans cannot. In surgery, they can be more sensitive, more precise, can scan for problems a human may not see, and they can draw on data from procedures carried out by other robots. Robots don't get tired, and the decision making is consistent. But if they do make mistakes, who is responsible? Is it the surgeon, the robot manufacturer, the hospital, or some other person or thing responsible? Well, this is what the iRobot Surgeon Survey is trying to help with. It's a survey composed of 5 scenarios that are entirely fictitious. In them, a patient comes to harm, and you need to judge who is most responsible. Well, hello and welcome to the Cheeky Science Show, where I recently did the survey myself and thought it'd be interesting to talk in this video about robotic surgery because it's definitely going to impact all of us throughout our lives, probably at some point. So before we jump into these different situations, we first need to go through the 3 different types of robotic surgery. These different types differ by the extent of automation of the robot itself. So the first type is human-controlled robot systems. Secondly, you have robot-assisted systems, and lastly, you have fully autonomous robot systems. So regarding human-controlled robot systems, this includes robots that are completely controlled by the surgeon, who can sometimes be in a different place to the surgery, and so these are known as telesurgical robots. Other robots are integrated within handheld instruments and may, for example, warn the doctor when they are operating close to important parts of the body, so these would be like handheld robots. The example you may have heard of includes the Da Vinci system that was produced by Intuitive Surgical, and this has been used for a range of different operations, including hysterectomy. Robot-assisted systems would help the surgeon carry out specific tasks, so parts of the operation that can be done better by a robot than a surgeon. So, for example, because it's more precise, steady, or agile, and so these could include things such as stitching wounds, inserting a needle into the brain, or inserting a screw to fix a broken bone. The surgeon is present and would therefore supervise the robot. And then, as kind of given by the name, autonomous robot systems would be machines that could complete surgery with little or no supervision from a human, and it's this type of robot that is currently not used to perform surgery. So given this background information, the aim of the survey is designed to give the respondents an opportunity to provide answers based on their instinct of who they feel shoulders the most responsibility. And by doing this, it enables a better understanding of whether there is a perceived onus of responsibility still placed on the human surgeon even as robotic systems become increasingly autonomous. As you might imagine, depending on how autonomous the robot is, your opinion might differ. So at least at the time of making this video, the survey is still open for people to complete. So I've put a link to the survey in the description, and as you'll go through it, you'll be introduced to 5 different scenarios where you'll have the opportunity to make your decision. So obviously the point of this video is not to bias anyone's decision, and instead to just emphasize the kind of dilemma that the field is currently facing in terms of providing insights into regulations and policies, and would also potentially help to direct future research. And it's interesting to point out that these kind of questions and challenges are not just confined to the field of surgery, but also are being questioned in terms of autonomous cars and how, if there was a crash, was it the fault of the driver or was it the fault of a malfunctioning of the system of the car? And was that due to the building of the car in the first place, or the initial software programmers who developed the self-driving technology? So whilst researching for this video, I also came across a couple of quite interesting and in-depth reviews about this topic, and also just more generically talking about the technology and the level that we're at in terms of robotic surgeons, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, definitely check them out if you're interested. But I think, the whole future of this, robotic surgery is mainly to put the patient first and to put their thoughts first in terms of having minimally invasive surgery, which means that they can also recover faster. But it comes with the consequence of putting that weight and that dependence on the robots, which, could malfunction. But then it comes with the consequences of if something goes wrong, who is liable. And considering that the growth of the aging population and the increase in life expectancy is going to just increase this demand for surgery, these are kind of questions that I think should be, more widely addressed and discussed. Especially since, according at least to this review, in the future, any surgical procedure could contain at least one robotic component in the operation. And so it's kind of somewhat inevitable, maybe, that technology will be becoming. It's a matter of how we deal with the consequences. So I didn't really know, this video kind of felt a bit different to my usual kind of videos, but I was just interested in the topic and decided to talk about it. So I hope you have learned something, and it's entirely up to you if you want to have a go at the survey. I'm not associated with it in any particular way. But yeah, I hope you've learned something, and as always, thanks for listening.